भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्ति भवति नैष्टिकी। हरे कृष्णा। श्रीमद् भागवतम कैंटो फर्स्ट चैप्टर 10, departure of Lord Krishna for Dwarka. Shloka number 5 and 6. Nadyah samudraha girayah
नद्यः समुद्रा गिरयः
sa vanaspati virudah
स वनस्पतिविरुधः
फलन्ति औषधया सर्वाः
फलन्ति औषधयः सर्वाः
कामम् अन्वृतु तस्य वै
कामम् अनुवृत्तु तस्य वै
न आदयो व्याधयो क्लेशाः
न अधयो व्याधयः क्लेशाः
दैवभूत आत्मा हेतव
दैवभूत आत्महेतवः
अजात शत्रौ अभवन्
अजातशत्रौ अभवन्
जन्तूनां राज्ञी करिचित्
जन्तूनां राज्ञी कर्हिचित्
नद्यः समुद्राः गिरयः
मध्यः समुद्राः गिरयः
स वनस्पति विरुधः
स वनस्पतिविरुधः
फलन्ति औषधय सर्वाः
फलन्ति औषधयः सर्वाः
कामम् अन्वृतु तस्य वै
कामम् अनवृत्तु तस्य वै
न आदयः व्याधयः क्लेशा
न आधयः व्याधयः क्लेशः
दैवभूत आत्मा हेतवः
दैवभूतात्महेतवः
अजात शत्रु अभवन्
अजातशत्रौ अभवन्
जन्तूनां राज्ञी करिचित्
जन्तूनां राज्ञी कर्हिचित्
नद्यः समुद्रः गिरयः स वनस्पति विरुधः फलन्ति औषधयः सर्वाः कामम् अन्वृतु तस्य वै न आदय व्याधय क्लेशाः दैवभूत आत्मा हेतवः अजात शत्रु अभवन् जन्तूनां राज्ञी करिचित्। प्लीज रीड
नद्यः
प्रभु जी।
समुद्रा गिरयः स वनस्पतिविरुधः फलन्ति औषधयः सर्वाः कामम् अनुवृत्तु तस्य वै न आधयः व्याधयः क्लेशाः दैवभूतात्महेतवः अजातशत्रौ अभवन् जन्तूनां राज्ञी कर्हिचित्
श्रीधर प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण। नद्यः
हरे कृष्ण।
समुद्रा गिरयः स्वनस्पतिविरुधः फलन्ति औषधः सर्वां कामम् अन्वृतस्य वै न आदय व्याधय क्लेशः दैवभूत आत्मा हेतवः अजातशत्रौ अभवन् जन्तूनां राज्ञी कर्जिते। हरे कृष्ण।
पूनम माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण।
नद्या समुद्र गिरयः स वनस्पति विरुधः फलन्तय औषधय सर्वा कामम् अनुव्रतु तस्य वै न आधयो व्याधयो क्लेशा देवभूत आत्महेतवः आजात शत्रु अभवन् जन्तूनां राज्ञै करहिचित्।
ट्रांसलेशन एंड पर्पट बाय द श्रीला प्रभुपाद। जगत गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। The rivers, oceans, hills, mountains, forests, creepers, and active dogs in every season paid their tax quota to the king in profusion. Because of the kings having no enemy, the living beings were not at any time disturbed by mental agonies, disease, or excessive heat or cold. Purport by the Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Since Maharaj Yudhishthir was under the protection of the Ajit, the infallible Lord, as above mentioned, the properties of the Lord. namely the rivers, oceans, hills, forests, etc., were all pleased and they used to supply their respective quota to taxes to the king. The secret to success is to take refuge under the protection of the Supreme Lord. Without his sanction, nothing can be possible. To make economic development by our own endeavors on the strength of tools and machinery is not at all. The sanction of the Supreme Lord must be there. Otherwise, despite all instrumental arrangements, everything will be unsuccessful. Ultimate cause of success is Daiva, the Supreme. Kings like Maharaj Yudhishthir knew perfectly well that the king is the agent of the Supreme Lord to look after welfare of mass of people. Actually, state belongs to Supreme Lord. The rivers, oceans, forests, hills, drugs, etc. are not creations of man. They are all creations of the Supreme Lord. And living being is allowed to make use of the property of Lord for the service of the Lord. Today's slogan is that everything is for the people and therefore the government is for the people and by the people. But to produce a new species of humanity at the present moment on the basis of God, consciousness, perfection of human life, ideology of godly communism, world has to again follow in footsteps of kings like Maharaj Yudhishthir or Parikshit. There is enough of everything by the will of the Lord, and we can make proper use of things to live comfortably without enmity between man, or man and animal, or man and nature. The control of the Lord is everything, everywhere, and if the Lord is pleased, every part of nature will be pleased. The river will flow profusely to fertilize land. The ocean will supply sufficient quantities of minerals, pearls, and jewels. Forest will supply sufficient wood, drugs, and vegetables, and seasonal changes will effectively help produce fruits and flowers in profuse quantity. The artificial way of living depending on factories and tools can render so-called happiness only to a limited number at the cost of millions. Since the energy of the mass of people is engaged in factory production, the natural products are being hampered, and for this, mass is unhappy. Without being educated properly, the mass of people are following in the footsteps of vested interest by exploiting natural reserve. Therefore, there is acute competition between individual and nation. There is no control by trained agent of the Lord. We must look into the defects of modern civilization by comparison here and should follow in the footsteps of Maharaj Yudhishthir to cleanse man and wipe out anachronism, to be non-violent human uh, to human being and uh, to a killer or enemy of the poor animals is Satan's philosophy. It's a Satan's philosophy. In this age, there is enmity toward poor animals, and therefore the poor creatures are always anxious. The reaction of the poor animals is being forced on human society, and therefore there is always the strain of gold or hot war between men, individually, collectively, or nationally. At time of Maharaj Yudhishthir, there were no different nations, although there were different subordinate states. Whole world was united. Supreme head, being a trained king like Yudhishthir, kept all the inhabitants free from anxiety, disease, excessive heat, and cold. They were not only economically well to do, but also physically fit and undisturbed by supernatural power, by enmity from other living beings, and by disturbance of bodily and mental agonies. There is a proverb in Bengali that a bad king spoils the kingdom and a bad housewife spoils the family. This truth is applicable here also, because the king was pious and obedient to the Lord and sages, because he was no one's enemy, and because he was a recognized agent of the Lord, and therefore protected by him. All the citizens under the king's protection were, so to speak, directly protected by the Lord and his authorized agents. Unless one is pious and recognized by the Lord, he cannot make others happy who are under his care. There is full of cooperation between man and God and man and nature. This conscious cooperation between man and God and man and nature, as exemplified by King Yudhishthir, can bring about happiness, peace, and prosperity in the world. The attitude of exploiting one another, the custom of the day, will only bring misery. Om Ajnanatirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवाञ्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्विताञ्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा। We try to understand shloka number 5th and 6th. Here what they speak about the rivers, ocean, hills, mountains, all are giving sufficient quota to the king in profusion, and no to be non-violent to human being, and to be a killer or enemy of the poor animals. They describe about the Bengali, they given the Bengali word, that is, the bad king spoils the kingdom and bad housewife spoils the family. And Yudhishthir Maharaj uh, uh, try to sufficiently, and um, their kingdom, they can bring about happiness, peace, and prosperity in the world. Prabhuji will tell us about these all points in detail. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat
Vancha
pranam Mataji.
kalpatarubhyo sindhubhyo patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavabhyo namo.
Hare Krishna. So everything in nature has to give something. And actually, this is the law. This is the order. Nadya, the river. Why has God created river? It has a function. Samudra, oceans, hills, mountains, giraya, sa-vanaspati. Vanaspati is vegetables. So the vegetables which we see growing, each and every vegetable creeper, it has got some service. Like the river has a function to supply water all the year. So during rainy season, the water is collected on the top of the hill. So it is stocked by God's arrangement and it comes down. Sometimes the water is stocked in ice form, not in liquid. Then according to seasonal changes, the ice becomes melted and the water is supplied. And it again comes to the river. प्रकृतिः क्रियमाणानि गुणः कर्माणि सर्वशः अहंकार विमूढ़ात्मा कर्ताहमिति मन्यते. So Krishna is saying in Bhagavad-gītā, mayādhyakṣeṇa prakṛtiḥ sūyate sa-carācaram, under my control. So Prakriti will work very nicely, provided we are also nice, Krishna conscious. If you are not nice, then Devi-hesha gunamahimam māyā duratyaya. My māyā, my prakriti, my energy is very strong. Duratyaya. So the question comes, how can nature be controlled? That again is answered by Krishna. Mam eva prapadyante māyāmitam taranti te. This is a law of nature. If you become disobedient to God, then prakriti or nature will give trouble in so many ways. And as soon as you become submissive or surrender to Krishna, there will be no more natural disturbances. And how do we surrender to Krishna? By his holy name. The Naam, the holy name, and Krishna, they are identical. But then we have to be careful. We cannot utilize Krishna for personal material benefit. It is aparādha. Krishna is Lord. So we cannot engage Lord for our service. Similarly, we cannot utilize the holy name for some material purpose. It is not allowed. Ye yatha mam prapadyante. If you want some medical material benefit by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, we will get it. But that is nāma-aparādha. See, this material world is just like a prison house. We living entities, we have come here as punishment. Krishna bhuliya jiva bhoga vancha kare, pashate māyā tare japati yadhare. We are under the control of this external energy, Maya, material energy. We have become controlled, just like we become controlled by the prison authorities when we are criminals. Ordinarily, we are free. Nitya Mukta, they are ever liberated. They live in the spiritual world, Vaikuntha planets. So Nitya Mukta means eternally liberated. They never come down in the material world. While we are Nitya Baddha, ever conditioned, eternally conditioned. When we live under the full protection of Lord, that is our healthy condition, real life. But as soon as we give up this position to be subordinate, to be predominated by Supreme Lord, then we are bewildered and we are thrown into this material world under the control of this material nature. And according to our work, we get different bodies. And we have a choice of 84 lakh different bodies. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, Ye rupe brahmanda brahmite kona bhagyavana jiva Guru Krishna kripaya paya bhakti lata bijan. So we are Jivara Swarupa hai Nitya Krishna Das, eternally servant of Krishna. So as soon as we accept it and engage ourselves in service of Krishna, it is our liberated position. Then we again become Nitya Mukta. We revive our original condition of life, which means ever liberated. In fact, by yogic practice, we can regain some of our sample liberty. But actually, when we are in spiritual form, identity, we have got such liberty. We can go anywhere. We can do whatever we like, just like Krishna can do. Of course, Krishna is supreme. His power, his liberty is unlimited. Our power and liberty is limited. So when we use within that limit, we are called Nitya Mukta, ever liberated. This material world is just 1/4 of Krishna's creation. Ekansha sthita jagataha. 3/4 is spiritual world. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji has said that this universe actually is just like a mustard seed in the bag of mustard seeds. In the jail, the population in jail is very small in comparison to population of the city. Similarly, within this material world, the living entities who are all conditioned, very limited number. Unlimited number are there in the spiritual world. But Krishna has made arrangement. He is giving us chance, this human form of life. He says, I give you all facilities, all supplies, all necessities of your life. The river will serve you, the hill will serve, the mountains will serve, the ocean will serve, the forest will serve, the vegetables will serve, the animals will serve, everyone will serve you. Now you have got human form of life. You take service from them, live peacefully and chant Hare Krishna. But still some people don't understand. See, Krishna is very merciful. We want to handle Kṛṣṇa in his gigantic universal form, we have no capacity. So Kṛṣṇa has become very small and he's giving us chance to serve him, to dress him, to wash him, to offer him footsteps, to offer artrika. Kṛṣṇa is giving these chances in the form of deity Swarupa. Just like there are different parts of the body, but they are working in cooperation. Hand, legs, eyes, ears, nose, all cooperate for upkeep of body. Similarly, all living entities may be in different types of bodies. They are meant for cooperating in the matter of serving the Supreme Lord, central point. एक है तो safe है. Nature is also working under the direction of Supreme Personality of Godhead. mayādhyakṣeṇa prakṛtiḥ sūyate sa-carācaram hetu ānena kaunteya jagat vipari avartate. So Maharaj Yudhishthir's times, the cooperation was so complete that everyone was free from anxiety, disease, calamities, natural disturbances. In the material nature or material world, we generally have got three kinds of sufferings. Tritapayantana. So Sanatana Goswami inquired from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why is these three kinds of miseries inflicting plains upon me? Keyami kena amaya jare tapatraya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was pleased and he explained. So these klesha, painful conditions, they are in turn created by three causes. What are those causes? Daiva bhutatma hetavaha. Daiva means created by the demigods. Adi Deivikaha. And Bhuta means Adi Bhautikaha. And Atma means Adhyatmika. So three kinds of miseries. Adhyatmika is pertaining to your body and mind. And we have got experience so many bodily troubles, anxieties, if not body, mental. So they are all Adhyatmika. Adi Bhautika means I am peaceful. But another neighbor or another animal will give me some trouble. I'm peacefully sitting, but these flies are coming and troubling unnecessarily. So we have to take precaution. Mosquitoes at night, so many other animals, they come. In fact, even our own sisters, brothers, friends, they are also prepared to give trouble, some way or other. So other living entities causing some painful condition is Adi Bhautikaha. And Adi Daivika, painful condition created by the demigods. Just like there is hurricane all of a sudden, so many trees falls down, cottages get devastated, overflooding, excessive rain, famine, pestilence, and you have no control. We cannot control at all. So that is Adi Daivikaha. We may be very great person in the estimation of our friends and countrymen and relatives, but still everyone is subjected to the miseries and miserable condition of life. Cannot make any solution. It is not possible. This is a truth, a universal truth. Because we are in dukkhalayam ashashvatam. So these klesha, painful conditions, it is said that they are further caused by three causes. What are those causes? Daiva bhutatma hetavaha. So you have to understand this very, very clearly, how they are getting created. But in the times of Yudhishthira Maharaj, we see that there were no problems. Everything was happening peacefully. Now, what is the cause of the problems? If you are in anxiety, then it is said that it will create a disease. The psychological condition is working in so subtle way that little shocking, little disturbance, and it will create another disturbance. But the Ayurvedic medicine, they treat patient on this principle, how things are disturbed. So Maharaj Yudhishthir's time, the government was responsible to keep people peaceful without any anxiety. That is ideal government, wherein you can have people living without anxiety. But what we see today is the rulers, they in fact try to increase the anxiety. Like today we don't know how to sleep peacefully at night. We are keeping watchmen to just see whether enemies are coming or not. So this is our position, full of anxiety. We cannot even sleep peacefully at night. Now compare this government with that of Yudhishthir Maharaj. And we see the difference. But this is something which was predicted in Srimad Bhagavatam already. That in Kali Yuga, all the people will be Shudras. Simply by manipulation, someone will get vote, he'll capture government power. He is not going to be a Kshatriya like Maharaj Yudhishthir, a trained up Kshatriya. He would be a third class, fourth class man. So how can he be carefree or anxiety free or disease free? It is not possible. So Prabhupada says, if people in general, they become Krishna conscious, they become trained up in Krishna consciousness, they understand the value of life, how to live, then they can send good representative, Krishna conscious man, then government will be nice. Harau abhaktasya kuto mahad gunaha. If people are not Krishna conscious, their so-called qualification has no value. Kuto mahad gunaha. So we have to work on this point. Krishna says, Namam duskrituno mudha prapadante naradhama maya apahrita jnana asuram bhavam ashrita. And this is what we are seeing. Asurim. All the demonic qualities, they are growing. And people don't understand. They keep on striving throughout their life to find answers. But then it is all useless. Shram eva hi kevalam. So a king has to be responsible for the citizens' peaceful life. No anxiety, no disease. Adya vyadhayaha. And then there can be peace. So for that, Prabhupada says that it is very important that we follow the Chaturvarna, Chatu Ashram system. The Brahmanas, they should keep everyone educated, teach everyone about Brahma. That is the absolute truth. The Kshatriyas, they should protect and do the administrative part. The Vaishyas, they should work on generating Lakshmi. And the Shudras, they should take up all the work that is required to be done. Chaturvarnyamma srishtam gunakarma vibhagasha. So the division of human society according to quality is something which will be useful for upkeep of the social system. Then the society will be nadhyo vedhaya kleshaha, no more anxiety, no more disease, everyone peaceful, cool-minded, cool-brained, and then everyone will chant Hare Krishna without any disturbance and go back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.